Queen Nzinga of Ndongo and Matamba remains one of the most extraordinary figures in African and global history, a warrior queen, a strategist of unmatched brilliance, and a diplomat capable of bending empires to her will. Born into a world on the edge of violent transformation, Nzinga carved her legacy through courage, intelligence, political genius, and an unbreakable desire to protect her people from foreign domination. Her story is one of resilience, defiance, and leadership in the face of overwhelming odds. Born in 1583 in the Kingdom of Ndongo, in present-day Angola, Nzinga grew up during a time of intense conflict. The Portuguese had established themselves along the coast and were pushing inland, capturing people for the growing transatlantic slave trade. Her father, King Kilombo Kiakosenda, fought to defend his kingdom, and young Nzinga often observed military councils and political negotiations. These early experiences shaped her sharp mind and fierce resolve. By the time she reached adulthood, Ndongo faced political chaos, internal rivalries, and constant Portuguese invasion. Nzinga stood out as exceptionally intelligent, fluent in several languages including Portuguese, and skilled in diplomacy. In 1622, she was sent to Luanda to negotiate peace with the Portuguese governor. They attempted to humiliate her by providing no chair, but Nzinga calmly ordered one of her attendants to kneel, forming a human seat. Sitting proudly, she met the governor as an equal. This act became legendary, symbolizing her refusal to submit to colonial power. Nzinga successfully negotiated peace and ensured the temporary recognition of her brother, Bandi, as king. But the Portuguese soon broke their promises, and conflict erupted again. When Bandi died in 1624, Nzinga became queen amid crisis. She rebuilt her armies, forged alliances with the fierce Mbangala warriors, and reorganized the state to resist Portuguese expansion. Forced from Ndongo, she relocated eastward and took control of Matamba, transforming it into a powerful, well-governed kingdom. Matamba became a refuge for thousands fleeing Portuguese slave raids, and Nzinga's leadership turned it into a major regional force. She personally led her armies into battle well into her 60s and 70s, striking Portuguese positions, freeing captives, and destabilizing colonial control. During the 1640s, when the Dutch temporarily expelled the Portuguese from Luanda, Nzinga seized the opportunity. She allied with the Dutch and launched successful campaigns to reclaim territory. But when the Dutch were defeated in 1648, she stood alone once again. Even then, Nzinga refused to surrender. She shifted tactics, turning to guerrilla warfare and diplomatic maneuvering to maintain her kingdom's independence. By the 1650s, prolonged war had exhausted both sides, and Nzinga began negotiating peace. In 1656, she secured an agreement that recognized her authority over Matamba and reduced Portuguese hostility. Her final years were dedicated to strengthening the kingdom, improving agriculture, reinforcing defenses, and ensuring political stability. Queen Nzinga died peacefully in 1663 at about 80 years old, after nearly 5 decades of resisting one of the most powerful empires of her time. Her legacy endures as a symbol of African resistance, leadership, and sovereignty. She is remembered as the Lioness of Angola, a woman who faced an empire and refused to bow.